everybody. Welcome to the Wisconsin Greg Show. I got a pretty important discussion today. It's a situation I've been dealing with a friend of mine, and I've learned a whole lot. So I thought I'd spread some of it out to you, and maybe you guys can learn and help somebody else out too. This is also for people that are dealing with mental health and suicidal conditions or thoughts and stuff like that. Maybe something in this video can help you out too. I want to start out right away saying that I'm not a doctor, and everything in this video is my opinion or this other person's opinion. I'm not going to have the other person on here, the friend of mine that is dealing with a situation right now, because they wanted to be on the video, but I talked that person out of doing it, simply because I don't want any people picking on that person at their work or trolling them, calling them, whatever. And I thought it was better off not to have them on the video. But I did do a interview with that person, and they wanted me to make this video in order to help people. And hopefully it does have some effect, positive effect on that. I'm going to be jumping all over because there's quite a bit of stuff in here that I've learned, and I'm no expert, and I'm going to have to look at my notes, and so there's going to be some editing in this video. But hopefully we can get everything out, and hopefully maybe help some people. First thing I want to do is thank this person for making this suggestion about this video. I think it's a very good idea. We both thought it was a good idea to make this video. It's a kind of a hard one to make. Some of the stuff is kind of hard to talk about. But anyways, we're going to try to do our best, and we'll edit it out and try to make it as short as possible. So let's get started. One of the things, I got a bunch of notes here from that person that I talked to. And if you're ever feeling where you're getting suicidal thoughts, talk to somebody. If you ain't got nobody to talk to, call this number, 988. There's another number down here further I'm going to mention too. But call a friend. Do anything. Don't let it get so bad to where the law enforcement has to get involved. That's when it really, really gets tough on you. If you have to need immediate care, you can go to the emergency room. My suggestions on that, and so is this other person's, is if you can bypass the emergency room and go right to a mental health hospital, do that. This person went to a mental hospital, but first went to an emergency room first because they were having suicidal thoughts. Just a lot of it is caused by it's a disease. It's nothing that person did wrong, and it's the same with anybody out there with mental disabilities. It's a common thing. I kind of personally think everybody's got some sort of it, but when it gets so bad to where it's affecting your life, you're thinking suicidal thoughts and can't work at your job, can't go out in public maybe, and every situation is different. This is one I'm talking about. Then you kind of need some help. One thing I found out is that places are so booked up. It's very hard. It's very hard to get into a place. Do a lot of calling around, but first get in contact with somebody, and if you can get a friend, like I was a friend of this person, you're really comfortable with, talk to them. Let me go through my notes here, like I said, so I don't miss anything. Now, when a person calls you, or if you just notice that they're not feeling right, a lot of times these people won't say anything to you because they're kind of embarrassed, or sometimes they just can't speak when it comes over them. And I found out, I learned a lot. A lot of times I always thought, wow, these people, I just can't believe anybody would do something like that. You know, it's just, to me, it's like an easy way out, but these people really don't want to do this. Just at the certain time when this comes across them, they're I don't know how it is, their brain is not thinking right. I kind of like to think it as the devil is working in the background trying to make them do something. And you got to be stronger, and you got to understand what's going on, and just try to fight it and get past. You got to get past these hard times. Now there's a lot of things I've learned that when you're talking to a person that's going through these hard times like that, you got to watch what you say to them. You got to ask them, is there anything you can do to help? Sometimes they won't say nothing. Sometimes you got to ask, and then when you ask, they'll sometimes say, yes, I need some help. But they will not come out on their own, a lot of these people, and if you're one of these people, please try to come out and say you need help. Please come out. It's just, I know it's hard, and it's easier said than done. Make suggestions to these people if they're having hard times. You know, what could be done. You know, can I come over and help you? Can I come sit with you? Can I do something? Just ask questions. Ask if they're okay, if they're safe. Ask them straight out if they're having suicidal thoughts. Some people do not want to talk about that, but when you do ask, they'll say kinda or yes, or they may even tell you what their thoughts are. Then there's also some things this person said you shouldn't not say. Don't ask them to compare themselves to others by saying it could be worse. Never say that. Don't say get over it, you know, toughen up, just get over it. They would like to, but when they're in that state, mind, and it's just the brain playing tricks on them at that time. Things ain't connecting right. Sometimes there's several different reasons it could be. It could be, if it's a lady, it could be hormones. If it's it could be drug use, it could be alcohol use, it could be just born like that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all the reasons behind, but there's several reasons that some of this stuff happens, and that's where you got to get a medical doctor in there involved. This person that I'm talking about that wanted me to make this video has been on medicine for a long time, and all of a sudden medicine wasn't working right, changed, and so that's another thing is you got to keep your doctors, you got to keep up going to your doctors, even if you're feeling good. Have a review. Tell them everything that's wrong with you. Tell them any thoughts you're having. Tell them, there's a lot of stuff. Just have good communication with your doctor. This person also said to mention that nobody chooses to have mental health. It's just something that happens. Issues, mental health issues. It's not something that somebody wants or brings on themselves. It just happens. It's not their choice to have it. So it's always okay, if a person close or a friend of yours is on pills and medication for anxiety, depression, mental health issues, whatever. It's always a good idea to remind them, did you take your pills, today or this evening or whatever. But do it in a thoughtful way. Don't tease them, don't call them crazy pills. I mean, this is serious stuff. And people, if you do that and make stuff up or make stories like that, they take it seriously. They interpret it differently sometimes, and it could make things worse. So just be thoughtful, but just help them out. Try to make sure they're taking their medicine right. Like I said before, it's important to keep your medication at the right levels because your life changes as you get older and stuff. And one of the biggest things you have to do is find a doctor that you like. That's very, very important. If you don't like a doctor, try another one. You don't like that one, try another one. Just keep trying until you find one that you like. Another thing to do if you're involved with a person that has mental health and for that person with mental health is study it. Go online, buy books, try to learn more about it. The more you know about it, the better you can help that person, the better that person can help themselves. So studying and learning is something that you can always do, and it's always going to make things better. So always get out there and try to learn as much about your problem as you can. And like I said, everybody's problems is different. Um, like I said before, I think I already mentioned this, but when it hits, it comes like out of nowhere. Sometimes, with in this case with this friend of mine, they can be perfect uh, just a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden that hits. And I've become more aware of the signs. I can just tell by looking at this person's face. Kind of frowns. But like I said, every case is different. But that's what you got to do, is you got to learn the symptoms so you can spot it out ahead of time if you're a friend of that person. Um, and that person also can kind of try to, if they feel it coming on or something, maybe they can feel it coming. Maybe they should, if they feel it coming, maybe they should mention it to their friend, and so that friend can stay around them when they're having those kind of thoughts or feelings, or they can just feel something's not right. Sometimes things just ain't right, and you don't know what, but just things ain't right. It's okay to just tell your friend, I don't know, I just don't feel right. Uh, and it's okay to say, well, hey, come on over. You know, I'm busy, but if you want to be with somebody, sit around. You can be here with me, and I'll check on you, and I'll be with you. I might not be able to talk to you all the time, and that most of the time, those people, they just need to be around somebody, they want to make sure they're safe. Uh, they just don't want to be left alone. That's when sometimes the bad stuff can happen. Now, if you're a friend of this person and they don't talk to you, but they talk to another person, don't take it personal, because everybody has more. Um, they have their own things they like about certain people. Just like when you're in school, you hung around certain groups of people. You're friends with everybody maybe, but there were certain friends you could just talk to, and there's other ones you couldn't. There's all different reasons. Sometimes just the communication is better between two people, and maybe it's just not quite as good between you, and that person just feels more comfortable with that person. Um, and if you're the person that they're talking to, respect it. Um, don't don't say anything to other people about it, unless they want you to. Like in this case, this person wanted me to help others, but try to keep it confidential between you and that person. You know, unless they want you to talk about it. Uh, just be respectful. That's the biggest thing. Both sides should be respectful for each other. There's also another number, I guess. I mentioned 988 if you can't talk to nobody personally. But there's another number, which is 211, you can also dial and call to find help if you have no medical insurance. Um, Still go get help. It's expensive. Just like mental hospitals are very expensive, but your life is more important than any dollar amount. And don't worry about the hospitals getting paid. You can set up a payment plan. You can just give them whatever you can afford. You know, $15 a month. Just tell them that's all I got. You know, and what are they going to do as long as you're making some kind of effort? Uh, just go get help. Don't worry about the payments. That's very important. Your life is worth more than any doctor bill out there, so don't worry about that. But if you do have insurance, from my understanding, like in this case with my friend, their insurance is covering just, I think, pretty much everything. So that's pretty good. There's also, I guess, other sources to help with bills. So you can go online, Google it, ask your state representatives, whatever. If you can, there's some help out there for you. every state is different, so I can't like direct you to that help, but there is help that'll help you with medical bills and stuff like that, I guess. Now I asked this person because I ended up visiting them in a mental hospital when they were there, I think 3 days. And the reason they went there is because the mental health places that you go, like doctors and the psychiatrists and therapists, they're so booked up. There's so many, it's like a waiting line. This person couldn't get their um, medication adjusted because it would have been so long a wait. So the only way they could get their medication adjusted was going into a medical hospital. And I asked this person, like what could be done from a political standpoint, and this is for all the politicians out there. And that person said they need more money in the mental health areas of healthcare, and I believe that. When I was in the emergency room with this person, and they couldn't find no place no mental hospitals around, and this was all over a big huge area, and there was like a wait, and this person had to wait in the emergency room overnight till the next morning, and then they had to transport this person a long ways away. And it's just too bad you got to be transported so far away. There should be places closer to where you live, and there should be openings. Like, you shouldn't have to sit in the emergency room all night long just waiting for somebody to go home from a mental hospital before you can get in. There needs to be more places like that. So if you're in the political thing, congressman or whatever, please look into that. Allow more money for mental health. Everybody sees it every day. There's a lot of stuff in the news, and a lot of it caused by mental health issues because these people can't get help. And I think I mentioned earlier, try to always self-check yourself in. You're way better off self-checking in than being taken in by police or whatever. Things are going to be a whole lot harder on you if you don't self-check. That's all I can say about that. I'm not an expert on it, but I know you can get let out, but if you like, they have to call you in. It's really bad. But either way, if you do have to get hauled in, it's better than the consequences of not being hauled in. So, and I think I've already mentioned that if you're getting into one of those areas where you're thinking of suicidal thoughts and stuff, get a hold of somebody. Talk on that phone. Call those numbers I mentioned. 988 and 211 are the phone numbers. And you can Google in your area. There may be some other numbers too. But whoever you call in those cases, just make sure you listen to them. And if they tell you to do something, do it. Because your life is important. I want to kind of tell you a little bit about the friend of mine that was dealing with this. They were having suicidal thoughts. This is, I don't remember now, a month and a half ago or so. And they're still dealing with it, still trying to get their medication regulated. That's been a whole crazy thing, let me tell you. First, it wasn't working, it was making things worse. And this person had a pharmacy that gave them the wrong prescription and messed them up again. And let me tell you, that's another thing. If you're on medication, sometimes these people they have to take several medications, and it can be very complicated. So if you're a friend of them, try to help them out. And if you're the patient or you're the person that is dealing with this, take time, sit down, just maybe organize your medications into pill boxes so you know which ones to take and when to take them. And another thing to do is look at your labels on your prescriptions and make sure that they're giving you the right ones. Uh, some of those names on the medication is just crazy, long names, and some of them are very, very similar. And that's what happened in this case. The pharmacist gave the wrong one, but that's a whole nother story. But it really messed them up, that person up. So it kind of made the recovery time longer than it should be. But like I was saying, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what happened with this person. Was having suicidal thoughts, and luckily I was talking to this person, and this person was talking to me, which was very, very helpful. Um, Everybody that helped was great, uh, and ended up talking to this person to go into the emergency room. Also, that person did call I believe, I don't know if it was the the what numbers, one of those numbers that I mentioned, and told them to go to the emergency room, and that's what we did. I was the one that drove this person to the emergency room. I was in the emergency room with them till like 3 in the morning, and they weren't going to do nothing until the following morning because they didn't even have a place to put this person. Like I was saying, the places are so filled up, they need more places. It's just crazy. And they had to sit there and sleep in the emergency room where all the trauma patients are coming in, and like that's not good, but that's the way it was. Um, and I was there till 3 o'clock. Then they transported this person by ambulance pretty far away, about an hour and a half away, to the hospital that they could finally get this person in. I ended up visiting this person. First, let me tell you what this person was kind of thinking about doing. Um, they had suicidal thoughts. Had a couple of things. Was thinking about driving into we got a big river around here that's just got really treacherous waters, and we've had a lot of rain here. It's just awful, and a lot of people lose their lives in this river. And this person was thinking about driving into that river. The person was thinking to put their driver's license in their pocket, so when they found them, they would know who it was. That's just some of the thoughts that were going through this person's head. This person doesn't want to die. This was just the mind playing tricks on them. And luckily, the family and me were there to help them. And you got to get past that stage, and you got to get the medication regulated. That's what it is. So they just get thoughts where they just think there's no use to live. They think nobody cares. They think they're a drain on society. They think, but that's the brain thinking. And then this person is a great person, does a lot of great stuff for people in their family and other people, and the brain is just trying to fool them at the time. And luckily this person was smart enough to get past it. Another thing this person was going to do, if they didn't drive into the river, they were going to get out and just walk into the river and let it whisk them away. That would have been awful. And like I say, you talk to this person or any of these people a few hours before, or just even sometimes a few minutes before, and they're perfectly fine, don't have no thoughts, and this stuff can just strike at any time. I learned a whole lot. I didn't realize all this stuff, and it was quite an experience. I did go visit this person in the hospital. We were there 3 days, I believe it was, and let me tell you, that is an awful thing to see. To me, they're treated worse than prisoners. It's really, really bad. Not that I've ever been in a prison, but it's awful. They basically put you in 4 walls, in open door, got a bathroom, no door in the bathroom, got a toilet, no toilet seat. They give you these pants that look like shorts that are made out of paper. Looks ridiculous, but you can have your family bring in some clothes, but like your clothes can't have no tie strings around them. I had to be searched with a metal detector when I went in there. But like I was saying, the big thing is that they just sit there. But that's the only way this person could get medication regulated, because no place could get them in. It's like a month. Sometimes this person was telling me how long a wait they've had in the past, and to get help from like a medical therapist or one that can prescribe medicine in the past was 4 months at one time when they tried to get in. And for therapists, which is more to deal with daily living issues, where they talk to them if they have issues and stuff, sometimes 9 months. That was at one time. That was here in Wisconsin. Now this is going to be very everywhere else around the country, but that's where I'm saying to these politicians, there needs to be more therapists and physicians like this, psychiatrists that can prescribe medicine that are available quicker. I mean, that's way too long. I can see maybe a few days, but that's crazy. Yeah, like I said, but it's awful in those places, and they charge a lot of money, but just to keep you, if you can keep that person out and get to a person that can prescribe the medicine sooner, I think that's your best route. But like I'm saying, I'm not giving no medical advice here. But in this case, this is the only way this person could get medical treatment and get prescriptions updated and fixed. But like I was saying, in the medical hospital, it was kind of awful to see. They put you behind four walls. There's other people in there that are going through things all through the night. You hear people screaming, can't get no sleep. It's not a good thing, but it's the only way this person could get the medication fixed. They don't have no activities for them. They have some things where some training and some schooling, which is basically they turn on a YouTube video and let them watch it in a group, I think. They can't write no letters. This person I know likes to write a lot, and all they had to write on was a piece of paper, and they get a crayon. It's pretty hard to write much with a crayon. Even to make any type of art or anything, it's hard to do much with a crayon. I don't believe they got any outside time. I can't go outside and sit by the flowers out in the sun. No sunlight. It's just inside. They come around every 15 minutes just to make sure nothing's going on. So you're always constantly being watched in those places. That was this particular place. Every place is different, I'm sure. But yeah, it's awful, but it was needed. And anyways, I hope this brings some awareness to some mental illness problems out there. And if you have some problems, please seek help. If you're getting any suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, talk to a friend, find a friend, get a friend that you can trust. If you don't have a friend, call those numbers and listen to them. If you need to go in, don't feel bad. Self-checking in is way better than getting hauled in by the police or something like that. And please get help, because you don't want to hurt yourself or do something like that or hurt anybody else. So please go and get help. Hopefully this video is going to be helpful to someone, and I think we're going to leave it right there. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank that person again for allowing me to make this video, and hopefully we can make a difference and make things better. So spread this video out, share it, and thanks for watching, everyone. Bye now.